Howdy everybody, welcome back once again. Today we're going to work with Interactables just a little bit. So in your interaction system, this is your BPI player. It's what handles adding an item or checking for inventory space or adding an item to spot, adjusting the index, stuff like that. BPI Interact handles interaction. This function is going to be called anytime you hit E on your keyboard, and it's going to be handled through your Interact checker. This is hidden in-game, but an interactable has to overlap this box in order to call that function. To make it visible, highlight your box, check for visible. Maybe it's hidden in-game. Right here. Uncheck that, hidden in-game on the top right, compile and save, and now you can actually see your interact checker in the game. Oops. You can see you want that hidden in-game, the static mesh. Highlight the static mesh and uncheck hidden in-game. Now, when you play, you'll see your interact checker. When I hit E, nothing happens. When I overlap the sword and hit E, now it's in my hand. I'm gonna set that. Actually, no. Let's jump into our player blueprint in our Epic Games demo folder, third person, and blueprints. If you want this to follow more of a checker-like pattern, you need to plug in this one. It's the purple one. Connect this if you would like interactor checker on a grid. So if we plug this in, compile, and save, now it's going to run on a grid system. Of course, you'll have to change the size and everything, but if you're looking to go more blocky, that is how you do it. And I just noticed that that was an annoying function. That needs to be fixed on the template before it's shipped out. We're not playing an animation every time we pick something up. Clean it up just a little bit. Oops. Compile and save. So that's how you do a more checker-like interaction system. And I'm going to set this back to hidden in-game because I don't want the player to be able to see it. And we don't need this. In your interaction folder, interaction system folder, the other thing that is very frequent is your inventory. Your inventory is going to handle removing an item from the hotbar. It's looking for blank space, and it's adding items. Test interactable, you won't really need that for a while. The other thing that is frequented is your item data. We've been in that 5 different times, and let's go ahead and work on making a... What meshes are in here? Let's make... Let's make a beat. Is there anything else in here? Flowers. We can cover that in a different tutorial, so you guys don't have to watch me stumble. So to make an item, we'll go over this without actually doing it. In the interaction system, you need an item ID. You want to hit Add Enumerator, name your new item, and then you want to go to your item data and add a row right here. Highlight your row, hit F2 in order to rename it, and you'll need to set your item image, what class it belongs to, the ID, classes down here, if it's going to be sold or bought, and if it's craftable, where it's craftable at. Crafting experience is something that's still being expanded on, and if it's a potion, you need to know what strength the potion is. Like, say you want to make a greater health potion, then instead of 25, then you might want to put 55 or 75 or whatever. And save all. Where did my save all button go? Right there in front of me. So, before any of that, you'll need to go to your blueprints, or after. You could do it after, that's fine. You could go to blueprints, interactables, and you're going to need to make a child of, say you're making a reagent item, however you want to pronounce it. Right click here and create a child blueprint class. All of these are all children of the base reagent, just as all of the tools are children of the base tool. If you're making a tool, you'd do the same thing. Right click, create child blueprint class, and make your tool. When you use an item, we need to go back into our third-person character blueprint, BP player. When you use an item, there is quite a few different things that are going to happen. Input action use item, that would be our left mouse button. It's getting our item info from the C inventory, which you can also access right here. Right click, edit C inventory, and it'll open it up. And it's going to check to see If it's a health item, stamina item, weapon, tool seed, health potion, or any type of potion, and it's going to, like for instance, if it's a potion, it's going to grab the item info and pull the potion strength and set the player's health as needed. And then it's going to destroy the item, well, it's going to remove the item, and then it's going to refresh your inventory component. If it is a tool or a weapon, it's going to make sure that you have enough stamina right here against the stamina cost of the item. And if you do, then it's going to adjust your stamina accordingly. Use your weapon or use your tool and play a sound. It's not going to destroy a weapon or a tool. For the functions on here, check plant seed. Wrong one. Or is it that one? Nope. So it's going to determine if it's a weapon or a tool or a potion or something right here. This is a system that's still being expanded on. Say it's a weapon, double click on use weapon, and that's where it was hidden at. And it's gonna play a montage and set if it's active, and switch on name is gonna be hit and release. Weapon hit check if it hit, and release not active if it's not active. What that is doing is it's looking for a anim notify. On the anim notify begin, it's looking for hit and release, the name. And you'll find that in the RPG kit animations. These are my retargeted animations, but if you're still stock, it's going to be in player animations. And this was the light swing. So you'll notice hit and release are the two anim notifies, and that's what it's calling in the BP player. When it's hit, it's doing the weapon hit check, spawning an attack radius, and doing the player base damage right here. This is another system I've been working on for quite a bit, and I'm not sure where the absolute beginner would want to start off learning. I am waiting for feedback, and I will very quickly shovel out some tutorials. Let's go to our beginning map, and our maps folder, example map. And then let's fly over to our interactable section. You know what? It would probably be quicker to just grab our player blueprints right here and move it over here. So the watermelon seeds, any type of seed, belongs to the seed class. When you pick them up, it's going to determine what class it is, and if you use it, you can't, because it's looking for a dirt plot. You can spawn a dirt plot with the hoe, just like this, and then you can plant a seed now, because now it has a dirt plot to grow in. The watering can waters, of course. And now we have apples. The interactable that we just got was an apple. It's over here as a region item. You can reconfigure this however you want, it doesn't matter. And I believe they are used to make health potions on the crafting table. We have our weapon system. The axe and hammer are two things that I'm still expanding on, but will be updated in very soon. The hammer I'm thinking about using to put up like fences and walls and stuff, and then the axe I want to add harvestable items, like a tree. If you're using the axe, then you should be able to harvest a tree. And the animation hasn't been updated because we don't use it yet. Next up is going to be potions. To use a potion, highlight it and left click. Those were experience potions, stamina potions, and if you would like to update the interaction system before I get to it, what you can do is, let's see, go to Interactables, go to Seed Items, and this is going to show you how the system works, pretty much. The hoe is spawning a dirt plot. That can be found, this function can be found in the player blueprint. This is a lot to cover, I'm sorry, it's so back and forth. Demo folder, third person, blueprints. And we are looking for use tool function. Which is hidden right there. So when you use a tool, it's looking for these anim notifies, and it's setting the active and is active correctly. It's looking for a notify name. Both the water can and the hoe are tools. They belong to the tool type. And if the anim notify has a till, then it's going to spawn a dirt plot. if the watering can, if it's the watering can, and it has the anim notify of water, then it's going to get your interact checker. It's looking for the dirt plot. It's checking to see if it's valid, and if it is, it's getting a copy and setting the watered on the base crop. When it's watered, it's taking its current size and it's adding to the relative scale 3D. To full grown size. It's updating with the timeline, and it's going to keep growing until it knows if it's grown or not. When it's grown, that's going to be called in the current crop, in the blueprints folder, Interactables, seeds, and crops. It's going to matter as these crops are also children of the base crop. And when we go into a crop, every time it grows, it's going to check the size with a bool, and then it's going to update the static mesh accordingly, based off of size. So that's an overview of the growing system. And if you would like to make it so the hammer adds a fence or a wall or something, then you would want to go to BP player, and again this is something that's going to be expanded on very soon, and you want to get your tool, your switch on name, add a pin, and add build, and off of build you would use the same function as you would right here, except instead of spawning a dirt plot, you would want to spawn your static mesh, so the player can build whatever they want. And that anim notify, again, is going to be called in the anim montage, which I've already showed you where it's at. And I think that pretty well covers Interactables for now. I just want this to be done for now. I want to take a break, and I'm going to revisit it real soon. I know some of this information is probably jumbled and incomplete, but I'm doing my best here. I'm just one person. And I hope you found this useful, and I hope you guys have a great day. Is there anything else that should be covered? Tool items, blueprints. We've done the Flight Master, the enemies, crafting stations. Oh, these triggers right here, they're just calling... all these triggers, anything with trigger at the end of the name, is over here in the widget testing area. And it's functional, but it's just so you can see what your game looks like and make sure it's coinciding with what you want your theme to be. So, I'll show you that right quick. Really should be in a different tutorial, but what can you do? So on common triggers, let's put it in front of the corn seed, and we'll just put the pause menu right there. And now when you overlap it, it'll make a pause menu. That's all it does. So let's delete that little guy right quick. Save all. Go back into the level that I'm building the game in. Alrighty, and if you need any more information, please join the Discord. ask on YouTube, like and share, help me grow. I want to do this for a living, and I like to teach people. So, I hope you all have a great day. Bye.